Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about Season 1 of Our Flag Means Death. So, before I get into this very belated review for this show, I'm so late hopping on here, you guys, but I really wanted to talk about this show. Before I do talk about it, I don't plan on having any spoilers in this particular video, but yeah, if you have seen this show, please feel free to talk about spoilers down below, and we can definitely have a conversation about that. So yeah, let's get going. My thoughts and my feelings on Season 1 of Our Flag Means Death. Like I said, a very belated review, but I wanted to try and squeeze it out somewhere. So, first up, what is this show even about, in case you have never heard of it? Because I feel like at the moment, this show is very niche. There's kind of really just kind of a select group of people that even took the time to check out this show or even know about it. But I feel like the people who have watched it just freaking love it and adore it. And I definitely want to make you guys more aware of it if you're not aware of it already. So yeah, what is Our Flag Means Death about? I will give you the IMDb plot synopsis because I thought it was pretty hilarious. IMDb, the synopsis says that it's set in 1717 and it follows wealthy landowner Stede Bonnet, who has a midlife crisis and he decides to become a pirate. It does not go well. Seriously, the IMDb plot synopsis, I like that. It just ends, it does not go well. So yeah. Our Flag Means Death, it is a HBO Max show. It has 10 episodes, and the episodes for the most part run for about 30 minutes. There's a few that are a few minutes longer than that, but for the most part, it's 30 minutes. And it is a comedy show, which I really don't watch too many of, you guys. Comedy can be very hit or miss with me, but yeah, the reason I decided to check this show out, because I'm a lover of all things historical fiction, and yeah, I saw that this took place, you know, in the 18th century, early 18th century, and I was like, okay, 18th century, pirates, it's a comedy, I'm intrigued, and I definitely recommend this show if you do love all things dealing with pirates, pirate lore and whatnot. Especially if you maybe enjoyed something like Black Sails. I just freaking loved Black Sails, and this is like the comedic version of Black Sails, if you will, which is kind of brilliant and kind of great. And there's even, if like I said, if you did watch Black Sails, there's a couple call-outs and mentions to some of those characters on Black Sails, because some of those characters on Black Sails were real historical pirates. And so there's a few little shout-outs kind of scattered throughout this season of Our Flag Means Death, kind of mentioning some of those real historical pirates and whatnot, and I'm definitely curious in Season 2 if we'll get more of those historical pirates and whatnot. And you guys, before I do continue, I do need to apologize about what you're maybe hearing in the background really quickly. I am filming and it's just pouring the rain out there, dear God, so I'm not sure how much of the rain you guys are picking up on out there. I'm trying to talk over the rain as best I can. So yeah, let's continue. Ignore the rain, you guys. I'm getting distracted with the rain myself. I'm looking out there because it's like, oh, it's kind of pretty out there with the rain. I like looking at rain. Am I weird? So, let's move on. This show, it's focused on the real historical pirate, Stede Bonnet. He was a real dude. And the thing is, like I said, this is a comedy. So it is a very loose retelling of his life. Of course, there are some kernels of truth sprinkled in there, you know, and the show kind of plays with some of those real details in fun, interesting ways. But for the most part, it's a very loose telling of the life of Stede Bonnet and whatnot, and his adventures and what he got up to. And yeah, the real life Stede Bonnet, I had to look up some research about him because I had no idea he was a real guy until I started watching this show. He was a wealthy man from the upper class, and he wanted to become a pirate, pretty much. A gentleman pirate, as they constantly refer to him on this show. He wanted to be a gentleman pirate. He kind of wanted to raise up the stakes, I guess, if you will, with pirate life, and he did. he left his wife and children, and on the show it's the same thing. He leaves his wife and children, he leaves his privileged, wealthy upbringing to become a pirate of all things. And what's so great about the show, since it is in the format of a comedy, Stede Bonnet is definitely not like your typical pirate, you know. Get out the images you have like from Pirates of the Caribbean, or from Black Sails and whatnot. Stede Bonnet, he is such a goofy, lovable idiot. He is just so way in over his head. It's like he has these grand ideas of what the life and lifestyle and the adventuring, you know, of a pirate is. But he's just so way in over his head, and that's kind of the fun of this show, is seeing him get into these situations and predicaments that he just has no idea how to get around and get through, how to interact with different types of people and whatnot. But it's like each episode he makes it work. You know, him and his very dysfunctional crew, because his crew are kind of just like him as well. They're lovable idiots as well. They're all way in over their head. They don't know what the hell's going on, but this is like the life they want to live, and kind of the only life they can live. As you kind of see throughout the season, as kind of some of their stories kind of get told and backgrounds get fleshed out, that there's just this world, this here in the early 18th century, there's just options and things that are kind of taken from some of these characters, and the life of piracy is kind of their only sole remaining thing they can do. And it is the whole show in some ways. It's about a group of misfits, you know. It's about a group of misfits and the bits of society that have been shunned and pushed away. And that's some of the really interesting aspects and things that you can take away from this show, because it's focusing on a group of characters that especially kind of in a time period like this, that would normally not get focused on. They would be shunned and pushed to the side and whatnot. So the show is definitely looking at the misfits, telling the story of the misfits and how these characters kind of get in these predicaments and whatnot. And I think over the course of the entire 10 episodes, as I just said, it's about these lovable idiots. It's about this group of misfits, and with the arrival of Blackbeard, you guys, because you do get the arrival of Blackbeard on this show. I'll definitely talk about my love of Blackbeard. But yeah, with the arrival of Blackbeard on the show, because he kind of pops up, I think maybe about episode 4, if I'm not mistaken, with the arrival of the Blackbeard character and his crew, because this is a crew and a captain that are real legit pirates, and they're experienced and they're worldly, and they've been doing this for a long time, you know. Whereas Stede Bonnet and his crew, they are just brand new to the whole situation. And part of the fun of this first season and these 10 episodes over the course of them is Stede Bonnet and his crew. They all really learn to discover things about themselves, you know, especially Stede Bonnet and whatnot. Stede Bonnet, he's like I said, he's a wealthy landowner. He comes from privilege and money. He's way in over his head getting into the situation, and he has a lot of moments of self-doubt and maybe even self-pity, and he kind of starts thinking, okay, I think I made a mistake, you know, I think I made a mistake, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, I'm not very good at it. And yeah, with the arrival of Blackbeard and his crew, and the interactions that Stede starts having with Blackbeard, it's like he's able to start discovering new things within himself, and newfound determination and self-acceptance, and, you know, being very comfortable in his own skin, because I think that's what you kind of get at the start of the show. He's a man who's very uncomfortable in his own skin, and he's trying to navigate that, you know, really try to navigate that and figure out, okay, who am I really? Because I was not happy in my old life, you know, I was not happy with my wife and my children, that's why I ran away. So who am I? Who am I trying to be? And that's kind of the whole joy and fun of these first 10 episodes, is him really finding that self-acceptance, I think. and yeah, his crew of misfits, the same with them finding that within themselves as well, and yeah, will they start respecting their captain at all, you know? Because at the start of the show, there's just no respect there, you know? There's no respect there between captain and crew, and that's part of the fun of the show as well. Will that come through eventually, that respect? As I keep mentioning, the show is a comedy, obviously. There are moments when it will poke fun at the pirate genre, obviously, you know. It'll poke fun at some of those traditional tropes and whatnot, and that's kind of part of the fun. And weirdly enough, you guys, because when the trailers for the show first came out, I really felt like they were promoting it a certain way, and I think they were leaving out a huge chunk of what the actual focus of this show really is. And the show, it's a pirate comedy, but it also turns, weirdly enough, into a rom-com, a romantic comedy, you guys. And I kind of loved it. I didn't just kind of love it. I really, really loved it. And I really got into it and really invested. So that was a pleasant surprise. The fact that the show turned into a bit of a rom-com was a very pleasant surprise. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, the core relationship of this entire show is between Stede Bonnet and Blackbeard, you guys. Wow. And the thing is, there's all this kind of almost sexual tension, I guess. There's a sexual tension between Stede and Blackbeard in the early episodes, and I kept thinking to myself, oh, this is all just subtext, you know. I was like, this is just subtext. The show is just going to kind of flirt with them having a bit of a thing for each other, but their relationship, it goes beyond subtext over the course of the show. And that might sound spoilery, because like I said, I don't really want to go into spoilers with this review, but I feel like for the sake of this review, I mean, I really feel like I do have to talk about their relationship, because it becomes the heart and core of these 10 episodes and whatnot. And yeah, there is a genuine romantic relationship that happens between Stede and Blackbeard, you guys. And I totally loved it. And not only do you have Stede and Blackbeard as gay, there are several gay characters on this show. There's several different little relationships. And then there's even a character who there's a character that she is a woman, but she is posing as a male pirate, but the actor playing that character is a non-binary actor. But yeah, on the show, they do still refer to this character like he or she, you know. There's still pronouns there, but the actor themselves is non-binary. So you kind of have that character as well, that you have this kind of back and forth going on. So the cast of characters, they're all very unique and individual and very very different, you know. And I absolutely love just the range of things and types of characters going on this show. Now, as far as a few of my minor complaints with the show, I do think the first 3 episodes are a little bit rough, a little bit slow. And that may be a little off-putting to some people, because I think I was reading some people talking about the show, and they struggled with the first 3 episodes, but once they got past the first 3 episodes, they really loved it and enjoyed it. Or there were people who just stopped after the first 3 episodes and never continued, which is a shame. So I do think the first 3 episodes may be hit or miss with some people. Because even for me, I kind of found it a little bit slow, a little bit rough. Some of the writing was a little bit off for me, especially with the comedy. I just wasn't kind of into some of it there in those first 3 episodes. But yeah, after those first 3 episodes, I think the show really picks up steam, and it really finds itself, if that makes sense. It really kind of discovers what type of show it is and what type of humor it wants, and yeah, the direction these characters need to go in, because I think those first 3 episodes especially, they're very episodic. They stand on their own very much. Whereas I think after that, that's when you do start finally getting into more of like the arc of the season and things carrying throughout every episode and whatnot. So yeah, that was just kind of a minor thing there. Just the first 3 episodes a little bit slow, a little bit rough there with some of the writing. And then another thing, this may just be me, because there's several Saturday Night Live actors that pop up on this show. One of the big ones is Leslie Jones, but yeah, there's quite a few Saturday Night Live cast members that pop up as cameo appearances on the show, and I kind of wasn't really into that. Like I said, I don't know if that was just me. I don't know, because of the nature of this show, I just felt like the whole cast just needed to be all unknowns to some extent. You know what I mean? Because pretty much everybody on this show, other than Taika Waititi, I've not even gone into Taika Waititi, pretty much everybody on this show, everybody's brand new to me. I've not seen any of these people in anything except, well, like Christian Nairn. He played Hodor on Game of Thrones. Christian Nairn is in this, and he was kind of the biggest celebrity for me almost. And yeah, Taika Waititi, obviously the biggest, you know, since he's an actor and director. But yeah, everybody in this cast is kind of unknown to me, and I've never really seen some of these people in anything. And then you have these big cameo appearances by people from Saturday Night Live or just other big comedians, and it kind of threw me out for a minute because I was so distracted, like, oh hey, that's Leslie Jones, you know. I was so distracted on that, like, it's Leslie Jones, and it took me out of that moment because I was thinking about that. So like I said, I don't know if that's just me. I think I would have preferred just a bunch of unknowns, you know, instead of it just being so distracting and very obvious. You know, once again, I don't know if it's just me. Let me know if you kind of felt that way at all. But yeah, other than that, those are just kind of my few little minor nitpicks, because other than that, I freaking love this show. Yeah, guys, I freaking absolutely loved it. What an intense ending. I wish I could talk about that ending. What an intense ending. It left me hanging. It left me wanting more, because I'm definitely very curious what's going to happen in season 2. I hope it's not heartbreaking. And yeah, I definitely do need to talk about our 2 main leads really quickly. Yeah, playing Stede Bonnet, you have Reese Darby, and I think he is a very popular comedic actor in certain groups, but I have never really seen him in anything other than the Jumanji movies, you guys. Because when I first saw him, I was like, hey, it's that guy from Jumanji. their tour guide in Jumanji. That's the only thing I've seen him in, but I know Reese Darby is a very, very popular comedic actor in certain groups and whatnot. I really loved Reese Darby in this. He was a great, bumbling, lovable idiot as Stede Bonnet. You just really connect with him emotionally. You have a lot of sympathy for him. You just want the best for him. You want this venture of his to go well. You want it to succeed. And yeah, whenever he has those low moments of self-doubt and a lack of self-esteem or whatever, you know, you really feel for him, and you want him to feel better. You want him to get uplifted and whatnot. And I did. I just really loved Reese Darby's performance. It was just so fun, so engaging. Just the way he delivers lines is just so perfect. The way he delivers a comedic line, the timing, and yeah, he can play the drama and the comedy just very well. You know, with a flip of a switch, he's very, very good at that. So yeah, I really loved his performance. And then you guys, playing Blackbeard is Taika Waititi, and is it just me? He freaking stole the show. Anytime Blackbeard / Taika Waititi was on screen, it was just such a pleasant joy, and I loved it. And he stole just about any given damn scene he was in. Whenever he was not on the screen, I was always kind of upset, like, I want to see where he is. But, oh my god, I really enjoyed Taika Waititi's portrayal of Blackbeard. This is definitely just a completely different type of Blackbeard that I have ever seen. I still think my favorite performance of Blackbeard is Ray Stevenson's Blackbeard on Black Sails. I mean, he played Blackbeard on that just spot on, perfect. So I think Ray Stevenson probably remains my favorite, but Taika Waititi is seriously a very, very close second. And yeah, don't even get me started about John Malkovich's Blackbeard, you guys. Did let's have a flashback. Did anybody watch that TV show Crossbones? It aired quite a number of years ago, and it followed like an older version of Blackbeard, kind of in retirement, I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly. And yeah, playing Blackbeard was John Malkovich of all freaking people. And oh Lord, his performance was so bizarre, you guys. So he's definitely at the bottom of the list as far as like Blackbeards go. But yeah, let's go back to Taika Waititi. Wow, I loved his portrayal of Blackbeard, you guys, and because of like pop culture and whatnot and what we know of Blackbeard, I think we all have this image of this terrifying guy, you know, and that's kind of what you get at the start of this show, because Steed and his crew, they have these kind of wild and crazy notions and ideas about who Blackbeard is. Because before we even get a proper look at Blackbeard, a lot of times when they show him in those first couple episodes, he's in the shadows, he's in the dark. A lot of times he has his back to the camera, and you'll only get him maybe in profile, but he's still in dark shadow. So the show does a good job of building up that mystery with Blackbeard, that, oh Lord, this guy is terrifying and scary. But then, yeah, once he does pop up, you do see a new side of him that he is. He's lovable, he's very likable, he's kind of a chill and calm, relaxed dude, and he puts on this persona of being a very terrifying villain, you know. And what's great about kind of this interpretation of Blackbeard in this show as well, it's like, because you have Steed, who is just getting into the pirating business, but then you have Blackbeard, who's been in it for a long time, and he's kind of fed up, he's done, he kind of wants to go into retirement, you know, and it's boring to him. It's very boring, and it lacks life and energy, and that's where you kind of start to get some of the rom-com elements that pop up, because these two polar opposites, Steed and Blackbeard, they really start connecting with one another and kind of balancing each other out, and just kind of getting just different things out of each other that the other needs, you know, and they learn from each other, just various different things, and it makes the show so much fun and enjoyable, seeing that dynamic and that balance between Steed and Blackbeard. And yet, once again, just Taika Waititi and Reese Darby, their chemistry is insane. They have such great chemistry, and there is like that subtext there of a romantic relationship until the show does fully go there, and it's like, wow, love it. And you guys, is it just me? Taika Waititi, I've never kind of just stared at Taika Waititi and thought, oh, he's attractive. I was just kind of staring at him and I was like, Taika Waititi is weirdly hot. Is it just me? He is weirdly hot. Maybe it was just the leather pants. I think the leather pants were just doing something to me. I don't know. But yeah, I was a little turned on by Blackbeard, you guys. It's bizarre. So you guys, that is it for my thoughts and feelings on season 1 of Our Flag Means Death. I just freaking loved this show from start to finish. And I just wanted to make other people aware of this show if you're not aware of it already. Like I said, it's on HBO Max. It's only 10 episodes, 30 minutes each. You can binge through it very quickly. And it's just such a fun, goofy, lovable show, kind of just really unique and different in its own way, and I loved that. I loved the characters and the rom-com elements, and I am definitely excited for a season 2. I need it now. So you guys, that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.